Aquarius, September 2025. Up though, I am Tarot King the Prophet back with another Crown King Tarot presentation. About to knock out a reading for you guys. Once again, it is September 2025. This reading is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars, whatever placements you may have, whatever major placements you may have in Aquarius. This reading is for you. Alright, so everybody that knows I start all my readings out with a fortune cookie for my roses. These are the fortune cookies. You guys are the roses. It's a Damon Tarot deck and the Moonology Oracle deck. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. If you watch my preparation video, I shuffle the shit out these bad boys. Leckies, whatever his name is. That's the first card we got for you, Aquarius. Let's see what Leckies is talking about for you. Oh snap! Hold on. Go back. I have to do something real quick. Let's see what we got for you. The divination behind Leckies for Aquarius is beware of taking personal campaigns to extremes, alienating potential allies by forcing strong views on others in destructive ways. Beware of taking personal campaigns to extremes, alienating potential allies by forcing strong views on others in destructive ways. What's going on, Mrs. Muhammad? And the Moonology deck for Aquarius is saying the new moon in Leo, confidence is your key to success. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. 5 is your number, Aquarius. That is the number of instability. Get some stability in this situation, Aquarius. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you having something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you are asking about a creative project you are working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. Not for you, for your children, huh? Hey, what's up, sis? The attuned to the moon, Aquarius, is make time to have fun. Make time to have fun. Oh, that's a good thing. All right, we're going to pull these other 3 little cards and then we'll get started with the reading, the actual reading. 9th house. Look to your spirituality. May be a good time for travel, mentally or physically. Look to your spirituality. May be a good time for travel, mentally or physically. It's okay to give this more energy. It's okay to give this more energy. And love isn't everything. Love is not everything. All right, once again, for those who know, you know that I use the Wildwood Tarot deck. I have a little deck and a big deck. I use the big deck to lay out the main energy for the whole entire reading, and also the main energy for the past, present, and the future. And then I also, then I come back around with the little deck and I clarify the past, present, and the future. And then come back around with a summary. And then I come around with the big deck one last time for one last final message from the universe. And after I've done that, I'll pull 3 more of these cards that have the little messages on them. And hopefully it all comes together to one entire reading. All right? Without further ado, bam, that's the main energy for Aquarius, the Two of Stones, the card of challenge, standing on two separate foundations and kind of just like fighting yourself like those rabbits. You could be fighting yourself, you could be fighting with somebody else. Either way it goes, there's decisions and choices to be made, and a challenge is proposed. Alright? So, and that is earth energy. Going into the past, we have the Queen of Bows, the present, the Ten of Arrows in reverse, and the future, the Three of Arrows. Wow, it's amazing how this keeps coming out. Not this particular card, but I just keep flipping the same cards for different readings. And this reading right here is the same as Scorpio. In the end, you know, that was my main general energy for the future, which is in the same place that it's in. It was my main general energy for Scorpio, for the future, but now it's your energy, Aquarius. One thing I realized about reading tarot is that energy is what it is. You know, a lot of us deal and go through the same type energy a lot, you know. A lot of us seem to be going through similar things. You know, I know there's times that you've said something about your life, you know what I mean, that's going on, whether it's happy or sad, and somebody around you who's a completely different sign, a completely different era, completely different generation, completely different career, completely different lifestyle, can relate to what it is that you're talking about. It's just like, you know, how is that, you know what I mean? When you run to one of those days where it's just like everybody's having good luck or everybody's going through something, you know, and that's just because energy is what it is. Energy is energy. All right, so let's go ahead and get some clarification. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm about to get ahead of myself. In the past, we had that Queen of Bows. This is about being who it is that you are. I believe that came out in the Capricorn reading as well. Not the same as a general energy, but it came out as an energy. This is about being who you are. You know, maybe possibly being a little bit worried, being a little bit timid. Which I think it was a Scorpio reading as well. Being a little bit timid. You know. Trying to push your emotions to the back, you know, trying to keep your emotions and everything behind you. It's funny because we got both hairs, you know, the main general energy got this two hairs, and then the past got this hair right here. You know, it may have something to do with doing something that you don't necessarily want to do or anything like that, you know what I mean? Maybe you're tired of wearing a mask, tired of being fake, tired of being somebody that you're not, you know, for the masses or whatever, you know. And once again, this is the past, you know. Coming to the present, you have this Ten of Arrows in reverse.
When you don't use this, dryer heat can be your
commercials here. You know, watch them commercials. Going to the present, you got the Ten of Arrows in reverse. And this is about not being tripped up, not, you know, allowing someone to use you for your fulfillment or anything like that. It's just like standing firm, standing strong. And no, I will not be used. No, I'm not going in the direction that you want me to go. I'm going in my own direction. I'm doing my own thing. It is what it is. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on my way. There's no completion right now with this 10 right here in reverse. But you know, maybe there was a sense of being fed up, being done with being tripped up or anything like that. You know, because it's funny because in this past it's just like, all right, well, I'm going to take off this mask, I'm going to be myself, I'm going to be who it is that I want to be. And then in the present, bam, it's, you know, the card of not being tripped up, not being stabbed in the back, so on and so forth, you know, things of that nature. It's just funny to me how those come together. And then coming to the future, you have this Three of Arrows, that's the card of jealousy. Earlier, for me, this was about the ancestors just being like, you know, if we were in those shoes, we would do this, we would do that. You know, I don't think this is really the same energy going on in this situation. That's what that card was in that situation. In this situation, yeah, the ancestors and everything are involved, but I think it's a little bit of heartbreak, you know, or something like that, somewhere, something to that extent going on. This, once again, this is the card of jealousy. You see what I'm saying? But I really feel like, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of jealousy. I think in the end of all of this, somebody will be in their feels. They'll be in their feelings, you know, okay? So let's get some clarification and see what happens. in this situation. Alright, so going to the past, you have the Ace of Balls in reverse, the Eight of Arrows, and the Seer. Card filled, but it didn't flip. 2 cards. I don't even know where they at. So, the Ace of Balls in reverse, that is the Spark of Life. And then the Eight of Arrows, that is the card of struggling. Kind of struggling for pretend. And this is the Seer. Alright. This is about no longer remaining stagnant, about moving on from a situation or from a place that you were in, that you were kind of just like, may have been in a toss-up for a second and making a decision, making a choice. It might not have been an easy choice, you know, but it was all a mental thing, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was something that was, it was just all mental, you know. It wasn't complicated to do. It wasn't, it just wasn't literally hard. It was just hard for you because of the mental mindset that you were in, you know what I mean? Everything, it's kind of like one of those everything ain't what it seems type situations. Excuse me. You had everything that you needed to make this decision and make this choice that you needed. And in the end, all you really had to do was follow your intuition, let your intuition make the choices, make the decision for you. You know what I mean? It was just something that spoke to you and let you know what was right for you. There's not a whole lot of fulfillment around in the choice and the decision that you made, but there's a whole lot of desire. You see what I'm saying? It's still an achievement that has been accomplished. It's like cutting somebody off and not feeling good about it. Walking away from a job, not feeling good about it. Dropping out of school, not feeling good about it. You know, doing certain things and not necessarily feeling great about it. You know what I mean? Like you didn't get a lot of fulfillment out of it. It wasn't something that you necessarily wanted to do, but it was something that had to be done. It was something that you desired. And once again, you kind of struggled with it. It was actually way worse. I mean, way easier than what you made it out to be. You made it seem like it was this complicated situation. It's like somebody being domestic abused and finding it hard to leave the person that's domestic abusing them. That's kind of probably not even a great example. But they hang in there. You know, since I already started the example, let's run with it. They hang in there. You see what I'm saying? In all actuality, all they got to do to stop this abuse is just leave. It's a lot more easier than what they make it out to be. A lot more simple than what they make it sound like. You see what I'm saying? Aquarius may be being over dramatic about these situations. You see what I'm saying? Probably in their feelings a little bit, you know, probably feeling a little, I don't know, I can't think of the word for it. I don't want to say like messed over or disappointed or anything like that, but they feel some kind of way. You know, if you're Aquarius and this is your situation, then you probably understand exactly what it is that I'm saying and where I'm coming from. I am an Aquarius moon. Yes, I did just do my big 3 in a row. All right, let's go into the present. We have the 5 of Arrows in reverse. That did come out in the last reading. We have the 7 of Vessels in reverse. That did come out in the last reading. And we had the 10 of Vessels in reverse. That came out in the last 2 readings. Anyway, in this present right now, Aquarius, all of this is in reverse, which means that it can be changed. Or if the situation can be changed, then your perspective of the situation can be changed. And remember, this is about not being tripped up. No longer being used. No longer being used for your greatness, you know, because you are the GOAT in your situation. You are the greatest of all times in your situation, you know. And it was just like maybe you have been taking shot after shot, and I ain't talking about shots. I'm talking about bow and arrow shots. You know what I mean? You taking shots, you taking licks. You know what I mean? And it's just like these phone call messed me up. Anyway, you taking these licks, You know what I mean? From a person who looks up to you as something useful. You are useful to this person, to this situation, to this entity. You know what I mean? And you're just like, no more. None of this. You know what I mean? No more missing. No more missing them. And the problem is that it's no more happiness. You see what I'm saying? You might find yourself right now in this situation in a state of misery while you're moving on from this chaos. You see what I'm saying? Because remember back here in this past, once you had to reflect and be yourself, become yourself, once you were in that position, you felt like you were struggling. You see what I'm saying? You doing things, you made this decision, not because you wanted to, but because you needed to. Because your intuition was telling you to make this decision. So now that decision is made, yes, you've placed yourself in a better place, in a better position, but you don't feel good about it. You're not really happy about it at all. Okay? And it's funny. So what I was just saying about energy, a lot of these energies, well, these for the readings, 2 readings that I did, you know, the energy was about doing what it is that you need to do for you. Not what you want, but what you need to do. And it don't really seem like it's going too far off track for Aquarius. So I think that's the overall energy in the air right now. Let's go to the future. You have the Queen of Stones, the King of Bows, and the Ace of Stones. The Queen of Bows is in reverse. In the future, here you are, the Bear, looking to see what's out there. You know, just moving on with your life. You see what I'm saying? But I think in this situation, you upgrade. You see what I'm saying? You upgrade in your situation, and something better than what you had before comes along for you. You see what I'm saying? So say you just quit a job, quit a career, and you end up with another job, and it's a better job. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that someone's going to be felt left alone. You see what I'm saying? And that person, that entity that's going to be felt left alone is going to be looking at you crazy because you've joined the ranks. They didn't expect for you to upgrade. They didn't expect for you to... commercials came back on quick. They didn't expect for you to jump up higher than them the way that you did. You see what I'm saying? But that's where you at with it. You gain higher. You've gotten higher in your rankings in your situation, and it's turned out to the better for you. The thing about it is people, they just weren't that expecting it. I get the sense of feeling of like actually missing something. Something somewhere is missing, or someone is being missed, you know. But at the end of the day, that's really irrelevant. This is really about moving on, and it's also about growth and a brand new beginning as well, somewhere in this future. That's how the future ends. The future ends with a little bit of growth, you know, where everything was dry and barren, you know, barren lands. A little green, a little fulfillment starts to form. See what I'm saying? And things start to get better for Aquarius, where Aquarius was doubted. You know, they didn't think you would make it, Aquarius, but you did. Not only did you make it, you upgraded and you got better, and that's gonna make them jealous of you. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna be in their feelings about you, and not only that, they're gonna miss you. They're gonna miss what it is that they had with you. You know, and like I said, this could be a job, this could be a family member, this could be a relationship, an intimate relationship. You know, a job let you go, and then you go get a better job, you know, getting paid more, and they just like fuck, 'cause they thought you was gonna be down and out, and thought that you was gonna need them again, and in all actuality, you didn't. You did not need them. You know, you had everything that you needed, which is being yourself. You know what I mean? And moving on, following your intuition and following your dreams, letting everything go. Now, these things may change a little bit right now in this present if you allow yourself to fall back into that dwelling, fall back into that arena where you are taking shots, you are being used. You just can't help it. You just missing them and You know what I mean? The shit that you can't, you know, you feel helpless and you feel stuck, you know what I mean? And you think that you're happy and that you're complete in this situation. But how can you be happy and complete being used, taking shots? You see what I'm saying? How can you be happy with that? It's a lot of mourning going on with that, you know what I mean? And I think that in your mind, Aquarius has a very, very strong mindset. You know, they really do believe the pictures that they see in their mind. And they have to, so you can tell yourself in your mind that you're happy and really think that you're happy, but in all actuality, you are miserable of you staying in this situation, if you're staying in this arena. You see what I'm saying? You're just telling yourself you're happy. But right now, the way it's set, as long as you don't change your perspective or change the situation, you are on your way to upgrade. You are on your way to actually being happy. All right? Let's get some summaries of the situation. And they're not going to like it, Aquarius. They're not going to like it at all. Go to the past, present, and the future. The past is about running away from something. This is definitely Earth energy, Capricorn energy. But, you know, this is running away from something that's unstable. You know, you see that guy, what the fuck you gonna do? You in a dark room and shit, you going down the tunnel and shit, you run to this nigga, what you gonna do? You gonna run, you gonna turn your way and run. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you did. What's going on with you, Miss Neil? All right, tap in, you keep saying that, holla at me. But you run into that situation and you run from it. You see what I'm saying? And you just gone, you ghost. Like you getting the fuck on down. You know, you come into the present and you start to realize who it is that you are. You start to see yourself for who you are. You see what I'm saying? You're looking in the mirror and you're reflecting. And you feeling like you don't have any choice in the matter. Once again, just like the rest of the things that are in the present, this is in reverse as well. This card that I flipped, the moon, the mirror, I'm sorry, is in reverse as well. You letting go of dead things, you know what I mean? You more or less putting the future in front of you now. You see what I'm saying? You're putting the future in front of you for real, and you're starting to embrace yourself instead of embrace fantasy, you know what I mean? You're no longer holding on to distorted realities, you see? And then going into the future, you go out of what you don't know into what it is that what you do know. It's a transition. You see what I'm saying? But you're taking all these different things, all this chaos, and just putting it in one block and looking at it from one view, one perspective. You see what I'm saying? Where at some level, at some end, you had to look at things from all sides, from all different perspectives to see how you can deal with this situation. And in the end, it was all about just this one perspective. You see what I'm saying? You let all that other shit that was around. I see you too, cuz, love you. All this other shit, all these different views and opinions and perspectives, and you took all that shit just, you know what I mean? Because those are the things that were causing you to stay in the situation, to be tripped up, to be used, to be fucked over, to be this, to be that. And you just said, no, no more. Doesn't matter if it's the right thing, doesn't matter if it's the wrong thing. You just said, no, I'm done. No more. I'm good. All right? He said, thought I was talking about you. If you're an Aquarius, maybe. All right. Let's get this final message from the universe. And then we'll review. You got that Ace of Balls. Remember, you got that in the as a clarification card. This is about no longer, you got it in reverse. This is about ending something, no longer being stuck, transitioning, moving on, like this transition card in the future, moving on from what you don't know back into the things that you do know. How to be you. Just like how I started in the past, you just took off that mask and you became you. And once you became you, you got fed up, you stopped doing shit. You know what I mean? You stopped allowing certain things, and now here you are, growing, getting back to the top, where you deserve to be, where you need to be, where you ought to be. All right? And that's your reading, Aquarius. Good job. Congratulations. Once again, I know whatever situation you went through, I know it felt like a struggle, but You know, Aquarius can live in their head. They got condos in their own brain. You know what I mean? And they can really live there. And life is really what you make it in this type situation. And it's not. And I'm not saying that is what you make it as far as you going doing this so that can happen, or doing that so this can happen. I'm talking about mentally for you. The way you see life is your reality to you. It may not even look the same to anybody else, but the way you see your life is what it is to you and what it is for you. You see what I'm saying? So you need to start looking at life from a more realistic perspective. Alright? You see it from a more realistic perspective, things will start to come together for you realistically outside. Then life truly can be whatever it is that you make it out to be. Alright? Let's go back over these fortune cookies for my roses. Remember, we had Leches. Said, beware of taking personal campaigns to extremes, alienating potential allies by forcing strong views on others in destructive ways. Careful about revenge and shit like that. Beware of taking personal campaigns to extremes, going overboard, alienating potential allies by forcing strong views on others in destructive ways. Throwing people away, Aquarius, with your views and shit, and making people out to just look at the world the way you want them to look at it, because just like I said earlier, you're going to see things the way you see them. Somebody else either is or they ain't. You see what I'm saying? Confidence is your key to success, Aquarius, New Moon, and Leo. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. The attuned to the moon is make time to have fun. Make time to have fun, Aquarius. Live your life. And the three cards that I pulled was look to your spirituality. Maybe a good time for travel, mentally or physically. It's okay to give this more energy. And love isn't everything. Love is not everything. And let me pull 3 more cards. Random, very random. Lies. There is strength in this. Quit wasting their time. That looks like a little alternative message for Aquarius. Lies, there is strength in this. And quit wasting their time. So, get what you will up out of that. Alright? I am Tarot King the Prophet. This has been another Crown King Tarot presentation. Thank you so much for stopping by, checking in with me. I'm out of here. Love, light, blessings, and peace. Yeah, I realize I don't always say that ending the same way, but I always end it with peace. Holla at your boy.